Hey, good afternoon, everybody. David Politowicz here, coming to you from Orlando, Florida, with a few helpful tips that might make it easier for you when you're trying to incorporate the keto style eating with our isogenics products. Several of us just completed the Pro Keto Challenge, which was a 4-week beta test with some of the high-ranking members in isogenics. And all I can say is, wow. For me personally, it was incredibly eye-opening as to how many carbohydrates I personally overeat on a daily basis. I really didn't have a clue. I thought I ate pretty well, but I found that I would eat a handful of this and a handful of that throughout the day just as a snack, and was really loading up on carbohydrates that if I didn't ride my bike to work that day, or I didn't have a training session either running or in the gym before work that day, those were just extra uh, calories and carbohydrates that I really didn't need to go throughout my day. Thus, when we don't burn those off through exercise or just our daily routine, they sit. You know, the glucose that we don't use just sits and turns to excess body weight. So what I found in week 1 of this was a really neat app that I downloaded on my phone. It's actually called Carb Manager. And I'm going to pop a picture of this up here for you right now. Share it from my iPhone. So I'm going to be going back and forth just to show you some illustrations. This is what the app looks like on the iOS platform. We're an Apple family, and in the App Store, you will see this logo, a C with an M in the middle, representing Carb Manager. Now, this is also available for Android users in your Google Play Store. So Carb Manager is an application that helps you establish macros, what ratios of macros you want to eat on a daily basis. And it helps you track those by inputting foods that you eat, setting up a dietary regimen in the proper ratio of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates with, an established threshold for caloric intake as well. And it's a great tracking application. It starts off as a free app, so you can download it at no expense. But if you choose to subscribe to the app, it opens up an unbelievable amount of information and data in terms of tracking your progress, recipes. I think there's something like 360,000 recipes for snack ideas that are keto, breakfast, lunch, dinner, light meals, beverages, things like that, that will help you get to where you want to be. Now, in terms of pricing, if you decide to upgrade to the premium Carb Manager, you can pay a one-time fee of $39.99. That's going to be a one-time fee for a 12-month subscription. I myself chose to go with a 3-month subscription, which cost me roughly $16.49. Or you can go the most expensive route and buy it on a monthly basis at $8.49. And that's all US currency. Thought the way to go would be just that 3-month trial. I knew Leah and I were going to go hardcore for this first month with the beta test. And then I figured we'd continue to use it for another month or two. And it was really instrumental in helping us achieve our own personal goals. Now, I am going to walk everybody through some basic, incredible features of this app that are really going to simplify your life. Like I said, I have the premium version, which I'm going to open up on my phone right now, and then we'll share that screen with you guys and give you a glimpse into what you can expect. If you're just starting, I think we're starting a new 4-week challenge today or this week, do yourself a favor and download the free version. And after you see my video today, you're going to realize how it's going to be beneficial. So let me get this screen share back up and give you a little walkthrough here of what we're talking about with this Carb Manager app. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is what my day looks like thus far, okay? You can scroll back to the previous day. It's a continuous tracker, show you how we did yesterday. I had quite a bike ride yesterday, so you can see I actually was in a deficit yesterday for all my figures. And that's not a bad thing. You know, when you go out and you spend 70, 80 miles in the saddle riding, you want to take advantage of that and allow yourself to be in a deficit. I wasn't tired. I wasn't sleepy. I wasn't out of energy. I felt fantastic, but you know, I didn't get what I was supposed to get in terms of net carbs, fat and proteins and calories, but that's okay. That worked out fine for me. And I felt I woke up today full of energy and ready to go. So when you first open up the Carb Manager, your screen is going to be blank because you obviously haven't put any data in yet at all. So looking at the 3 horizontal bars in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to want to tap those. This is going to be the what the screen is going to look like when you tap those 3. So it's going to have your daily log, which I just showed you. Foods, I'm just going to go through here. So these are some of the, where it says recently viewed, these are some of the recently viewed foods that I actually either used or looked up just to see what their carbohydrate content is. Maybe there's a recipe or 2 in there that we ate. You can even eat out. Here's one evening we ate out, and we were at Steakhouse, Longhorn Steakhouse, and we had a Blue Ridge wedge salad. And if you click on that, you can find that in here, and it's going to open up, and it's going to show you exactly what that salad that you ate out at Longhorn Steakhouse, what it's comprised of. And if you're sitting in a restaurant, some of them may be fast food, some may be fine dining. If you're looking at a menu, many of these menu items off restaurants are going to be inside of this small, powerful app. So I sat there and I looked it up. Boom, this pulled up. I said, hey, that looks great. I think I'm going to eat this thing. Now, you can see there where it says keto grade B. It's giving you a suggestion to limit that. That's really a nice feature. You'll see things that are keto grade A, which you can eat without feeling bad about it all. And then, you know, there'll be some things that it'll tell you to avoid. Let's see if I can find an example of something like that to avoid. Let's see if I can find something like that. What do they say about pistachio nuts? There you go. They're recommending you to avoid those, you know. 1 glycemic load, so keto grade F. When you see keto grade F on a food, try and avoid that at all costs. There are some other nuts out there that are better for you than pistachio nuts. They don't look too bad just looking at this, but you can see pretty high calorie content, okay? Let's X out of that. So going back to our 3 horizontal bars, which is our index or our glossary, we can see other headings: exercise, my measurements, my nutrition and wellness, community, analysis, keto diet plan, recipes, and so on. You guys can read that. I don't have to speak it. Some of these will not be available to you if you're just using the free version of the app. When you subscribe to the paid version of the app, it opens up the recipe and meal plans. It opens up the meal planner. It opens up that keto genus diet plan, which is a 22-page virtual book, which gives you, if you are wondering what they are, it gives you a pretty good explanation of what and how your body utilizes a carbohydrate, a fat, and a protein, and talks about glycemic loads and why there are some foods that you should avoid, and there's some foods that you should definitely eat if you're thinking about incorporating the keto lifestyle. Um, so consider that when you're deciding on which app you want to, whether you want to go with the paid version of the app or the free version. The recipe and meal plans, just for this alone, I would say subscribe. There are over 360,000 meal plans in there. Incredible. The other reason you might want to incorporate and use the paid version of this app is if you're an athlete and you want to track the amount of calories that you're burning and carbohydrates that you're using when you exercise, when you go out for your daily run or your bike ride or your swim or you're lifting weights. Believe it or not, this app can integrate with your Fitbit and it can integrate with your Garmin. We're a Garmin household, and my wife Leah and I both have Edge 520s and 820s that we utilize when we cycle. And I have a Vivo Active that I use when I run. The Vivo Active is nice too because it's also an activity tracker. So throughout the day, it's tracking my steps while I'm walking all day long. With a paid subscription, this will virtually seamlessly integrate with your Fitbit or your Garmin and take that data from your Garmins or your Fitbits and put it right into your daily log for you, which is really cool. Now looking here at our index, you're going to see a light bulb near the bottom and it says getting started. That's the first place you're going to want to go when you open this Carb Manager. Okay, and you can see here there's across the top, the toolbar, there's my profile. There are macros, which you're going to be able to set up and it's going to tell you exactly what a macro is. Dietary goals, so health goals, where you want your weight to be, how much water you're going to want to drink, how many steps you want to take throughout the day. These are all goals that you can set, and it's going to let you know, your manager is going to let you know whether you've achieved those goals on a daily basis. But let's go back to the first one, settings, okay? So what you're going to want to do here is this is where you're going to set up your macros, okay? You're going to decide whether or not you want to track your net carbs, your total carbs, or your diabetes carbs. For the purposes of these keto and isogenics type challenges or journeys, we'll say, we're going to want to track net carbs. So you're going to want to hit net carbs there. You're going to want to track all your macros. You're going to want to track your calories. You want to, now, if you go with the premium version and you want to integrate your workouts and your daily steps and all that into the Carb Manager seamlessly, you're going to want to deduct calories when you exercise. I think I just showed you a screen or two ago how my 77-mile bike ride really took a lot of carbs, calories, and fat out of my system yesterday. Progress wheel, that's a different way. That's just kind of like a diagram as opposed to a chart. You're going to want to establish your units. Are you in Europe or Canada where you may use the metric system? So you're going to want to change that to metric as opposed to imperial. If the rest of the world is on the metric system, I think we're the only country still not on that, ironically. I think they told me in 7th grade we were going to the metric system and I need to learn it. Still hasn't happened. And then you're going to want to establish your, this is where the metric system comes in again, whether you're going to be measuring calories or kilojoules, blood glucose density units. There are some other really neat little tools that you can get as you progress in your journey here with the keto iso lifestyle. Some people utilize the keto strips and dip that in their urine when they're in the bathroom to roughly see if they are in ketosis or not. There are also other ways, pricking your finger. I think it's called the Keto Genie, something like that. It's a little device that will actually measure your whether you are in ketosis with a little droplet of your blood, little pinprick there, and it tests your blood for ketones, and it tests your blood for blood glucose levels, and it'll also test it for hematocrit and hemoglobin. Those kits can be purchased online as well, maybe about 50 bucks. But this is where you would input this type of data if you were going to get that involved, or that precise. And as you can see down here, if we go further, I don't utilize a Fitbit, so that's switched to off. However, we do connect with Garmin's. The other thing you'll see there is connect with a healthy app. If you're going to be connecting with a Garmin, you need to get the health app. On the iOS system, I think it's just the Apple Health. So you download that. That's also a free app, and that's what's going to communicate with your Garmin and thus communicate the Garmin data to the keto or the carb manager. So that's where you're going to want to go first, into settings. And then getting started, it's going to give you a brief description of this is where you're going to set up exactly whether you want to do a keto style diet, whether you want to do just a low carb lifestyle or a moderate carb lifestyle. So as I said before, we're going to go in here and we're going to track we're going to set up our units, how we're going to track, and we want to do the net carbs. And we're going to continue. You're going to put in your date of birth, male, female, your current weight, height, continue. And then this is where we start talking about macros. So we set smart macros to on, so it's going to track your macros every day and give you an idea of how many or how much percentage-wise and gram-wise you want to eat of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Okay, those are your macros. So we're going to start to create a calorie budget based on your profile, where your weight is now, where you want your weight to be at the end of this challenge, and you're going to see how we're going to do this. So weekly weight change goal, depending on how long this is going to take, okay, how much time you're going to spend on this, how many weeks you're going to spend, and how many pounds you want to lose, this is where you're going to establish your weekly weight change goal. So you're either going to want to, and they give you a few here. Let's see. No change. You want to lose a half a pound a week, 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds a week. I went for the max. If I'm going to do something, I do it to the nth degree. So we went for losing 2 pounds a week. Not too bad. It suggested my caloric budget on a daily basis should be somewhere around 1,600 calories, okay? Steve Bentley likes to use as a rough rule of thumb, whatever your end goal weight, whatever that goal weight is that you want, take that, add a 0 to it. In my case, this is about, I wanted to be somewhere around 170 pounds when it's all said and done. When I started this, I was 194 pounds. By the end of my 4 weeks, I was down to 180 pounds, and I'm continuing with this eating protocol with using a ketogenic and isogenics lifestyle, so that I should be, by the end of the next 4 weeks, pretty darn close to where I want to be, about 170 pounds, give or take. So as we look further down, we're going to get a little bit more precise onto percentages and grams that we want to consume every day. So if you look, we've got a sliding scale here. So if you're going to go with a full ketogenic type diet, you can see you're going to have 5% of your diet is going to be comprised of carbohydrates, roughly 25% is going to be protein, and then approximately 70% is going to be fat, okay? And depending on whether you want to go the full keto or whether you want to do something that's low carb, high fat, whether you want to do low carb, moderate fat, you want to do something balanced. If you change these, like watch, let's go back. So I'm ketogenic. So you can see what my ratios are, okay? 5%, about 20 grams. 25% protein, about 99 grams of protein. 70% fat, about 124. if I change that, it's going to change the scale. So let's say I want to go to a balanced. So what it's going to do is automatically change those for me and tell me how many carbs, how many, and what percentage I should be eating every day. Then you're going to want to just hit apply, and it's going to change all your numbers throughout as you recommended. I'm going to go back, set mine back to where it was. Okay, and you can go in and change these too. So after I finished the 4-week beta test, I decided I wanted to up my carbohydrates a little bit to see if I could still stay in a state of ketosis with incorporating more carbs into my diet. So right now I'm eating around 30 grams of carbs, and obviously these numbers are going to change, right? Because it's all based on 100%. So I'm going to hit apply, and that's about what I'm eating now. About 30 grams of carbs. I'm trying to get about 97 grams of protein and about 120 grams of fat in my daily nutrition. Okay, so we'll get down to the bottom of that, and there we go. So this is a snapshot of where I am through today thus far, okay, to give you an idea. You know, I'm at 21 out of 30 grams of net carbs because we set that up early. We want to track net carbs. So this is interesting. So I've had a total of 32 grams of total carbohydrates today. 11 of those grams, though, however, were fibrous, okay, or fiber. So when you're calculating your net carbs, you're going to deduct the fiber from your total carbs. That's why you see 21 only. I'm about halfway there on my fat. And about 2/3 of the way on my protein. So considering that I've had breakfast, you know, coffee, and I've had a lunch, and I've had a snack or two in there, you can see that I'm about 2/3 of the way through my day, and I'm about 2/3 of the way across the board on all my macros, which I feel really good about that. You will find, if you're new to this, the hardest component of these macros to get right or to get close to is your fat. You know, most of us have always been told, you know, fat's bad. You don't want to eat fat, okay? It's bad for you. But studies are showing that eating fat is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? And you're going to find when you start doing this keto-iso lifestyle, the component that's the hardest to get is the fat, because if you eat too much fat, you're going to find that you're not getting enough protein and you're probably getting way too many calories in there. So you really want to be cognizant of the ratio of these macros when you're eating. That's why I highly suggest stepping up your game to the paid for subscription, if you will, to this Carb Manager. Even if it's only like I did for 3 months, you know, I think it'll be, you know, $16.49 well spent. And we're going to delve into this a little bit further and show you why. So other things are really nice about this premium. I'm just going to show you a couple other things here. There's a great deal of data. So water, right? I haven't filled it in yet, but these are all representative of 8-ounce glasses of water. And this is how much water I have consumed today already. I drink a lot of water. You can set this up to whatever, you know, you feel you need to have in terms of water. I drink more than is recommended. You know, most people that you talk to in isogenics, you know, if you're on a cleanse day or just generally being healthy, they recommend half of your body weight in ounces of water. Okay, well, that would, for me, it would equate to roughly 90 ounces of water a day. And I've got this set up to about 96 ounces, and, you know, I'll easily achieve this. And I do overachieve this every day. I drink far more water than I really need to. Now going back, let's go back to the main page. Okay, back here. So what this app is going to help you do is track your meals. So you can see what I had for breakfast today. I'm just going to be a little transparent. Threw 2 tablespoons of whipping cream into my coffee, along with 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. And then I used my little whipper and whip it up. Usually I shake a little bit of cinnamon on top as well. Love my coffee like that. And now you can see my shake for breakfast. I had my heart booster in there. I had a scoop or a packet of the Isofruits by Isogenics. And because of the net carbohydrates that are in the isoline shakes, if you did 2 scoops of an isoline shake for breakfast or lunch or dinner, if you do 2 scoops the way we're always trained to do, you're already going to be at 16 net carbs. And if you're trying to do 20 net carbs a day, you're going to have a really tough time. So highly recommend getting the IsoPro. We've got the IsoPro in the house here, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And we make it a lot easier to hit our carbs when we're using 1 scoop of the IsoPro and then we're using 1 scoop of the isoline shake. You know, we get 10 grams of carbs net. And on my 30 grams right now, it's easy to maintain those. Lunch, you saw I had some scrambled eggs with bacon, some spinach sauteed in there, and didn't quite have 1/4 cup of grated cheese. It was not anywhere near that, but that's only 1 gram. And then you can see down here at the end, I haven't had dinner yet. I have had a snack. So pretty cool way how to do this. So if I'm going to add a snack, see those 3 dots on the right? I can touch on there. And it gives me all these options, right? Now, add foods. I can click on add food and I can scroll through. I can type in a food that I wanted to find for me, or, which is fantastic, is I can go down to copy to, let's see. Let me go back. I'm not going to find food. I'm going to go to a snack that I know I had yesterday or the day before, okay? Let's see. So, let's go to Thursday. Let's go to Friday. That was Thanksgiving. I don't think trying to find a snack. Okay. So, hard-boiled egg. I had a hard-boiled egg snack on Monday the 19th. So if I click on that, it's going to show copy to. I click copy to. Where do I want to copy it to? I want to copy it to today. So I hit the set. And where do I want to add it? I want to add it as a snack 1. So it automatically added that under snack 1 on today's date. Didn't have to type anything, just hit a couple little buttons, touchscreen, there it was. So far today, I really haven't exercised. I've been walking all day, but I've not uploaded any of that. I have had a couple supplements today. So you can click on supplements. We can go up. I'll show you add foods. Now, we can type in ice omegas, or I could go back real easily the way I did it last time. Ice Omega Supreme by Isogenics. Tap that, and it's showing you keto grade A. There's really nothing in those whatsoever in terms of carbs, fiber, fat, protein, calories. And I've had actually 6 of those today. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit supplements. There it is. Hit the check. And now it's added that to my, if I go to my day, there you can see they're in there as supplements. Water steps, okay. Let me go back here to our main index, and I want to show you just an example of some of these recipes and meal plans that you can get. Now, this is also in the premium version of this application. You've got main dishes, hit that arrow bar down, and you can see beverages, breakfast, desserts, lunches, salads, snacks, sides. Let's click on breakfast. And it is going to just start to show you, I'm scrolling through here, some amazing, amazing breakfast that you can make here. One of my favorites, which is coming up, is where is it? It's coming up. It is a meat lovers scramble. Let's see where that guy is. This thing is fantastic. Well, I can't seem to find it. My wife and I, Leah, have made many. There it is, Keto Meat Lovers Egg Scramble. So This is, like I said, one of the amazing benefits of having the premium subscription. You find something you like to eat. Oh, that looks awesome. Let's see what's all involved with this. Okay, keto grade A. All right, showing you a breakdown. Shows you and gives you a detailed description of the actual meal, the yield, how many servings it makes, prep time, cook time. I'm no emerald in the kitchen, but I do know how to work the stove and a spatula. And I'll tell you, if it tells you prep time's 4 or 5 minutes, it's 4 or 5 minutes. It's super simple to make. It gives you all the ingredients that you need, and then step-by-step instructions with pictures of how to create the amazing meal. And there's also reviews. You know, people are very succinct, and they'll tell you, this wasn't really my favorite. It tasted delicious. Highly recommend it. So yeah, you can read those if that floats your boat. But this in itself makes life so easy. You can search recipes as well, you know, and do it that way, or browse them. Meal plans. All these are things that are available through the premium version of Carb Manager. You can set up meal plans. So, you know, there's a Keto Diet 1 meal plan. So if you click on that, you know, it's going to show you day 1. What do you want to eat? You know, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Snacks that you can have. Day 2. Very, 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 very structured meal plan. Okay. There's hundreds of these things in here. So it gives you the meals, it gives you the snacks, it gives you the meals, and then it provides you, if you click on it, boom, it's going to pull that recipe up for you. Okay. And there it is. So another reason why I highly suggest going with the, it's starting to rain here pretty good, with the premium plan. Now, something else that's very, very useful, if you go to foods and, you know, you don't want to necessarily have to type in what you're eating or what you're planning on eating. If you're making a recipe and you're getting ready to cook something, you see where search is on that toolbar? There's quick find, my foods. These are foods that you use quite regularly, okay? Scan. This is amazing. So this little feature, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to scan a barcode. Now, 99% of the foods that I've used in the last month with a barcode on them, 99%. I think there's only been 1 or 2 items that did not scan with a barcode. But the scan feature is cool. Boom. I just scanned a bag of mozzarella cheese, right? Shredded. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay. Why is that? It's going to show you how. Oh, it's not showing. It should be showing. Let me try something here. Let me close my app and reopen it, because it should. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So had a little snafu there. For some reason, I scanned that bag of cheese, and this is the first time this has happened, obviously when I'm making the video. But I scanned that bag of cheese, and instead of pulling up all the nutrient information, it just showed the diagram of the breakdown, but it didn't give us the actual nutritional breakdown. Here it is now. So when I went off air for a minute, I rebooted the Carb Manager app, and then I rescanned it, and this is what came up. 1 gram of net carbs, 1 total carbs, 6 grams of fat, 8 protein, 80 calories. That's per 1/4 of a cup. So keto grade A, good stuff. Now watch as I change the amount. You see the ratios are changing as well. So it's a pretty powerful little bonus there, the scan feature, um, for importing foods that you want to eat. And like I said, the majority of foods that I've scanned, everything pops up the way it should instead of having to type it off a bag or a container or label. Super, super simple. So let's get out of here, close this back up. I think we're about done. So just wanted to share a little bit of info that might help you on this journey towards better health, maybe possibly some extra weight loss, especially coming into the holidays. I mean, starting now, if you're going to get on this on board in the next 4 weeks, I think it would be incredibly good timing right before, you know, the holidays, Christmas and New Year's are coming up, and get you fitting in those clothes a little bit better for the holiday parties. Listen, thank you for listening to me bumble and ramble on. Please, if you have any questions, you can email me at dpolitowicz@cfl.rr.com. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, set your card manager up, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Bye-bye.